So you've just purchased your first DSLR camera and you're probably wondering what are the most important accessories that you will need to get. I'm going to make some recommendations as a professional photographer in terms of the absolute must-haves. First and foremost, you are going to need a memory card. It's going to either be an SD memory card or a CF memory card, depending on the camera that you purchased. Now the retailer where you purchase your camera is probably going to try to sell you a memory card because they don't come in the box. What I would recommend is holding off on this purchase until you have watched my lesson on memory cards, because memory cards are different. They look the same, but their capacities and their speeds are different. And one of the most common emails that I get is, why does my video stop recording after 5 seconds of shooting? Well, it's because the performance of the card is not fast enough. So if you are shooting any kind of video, or if you're taking pictures in the RAW format, you are going to need a high performance card. It's going to make a huge difference, and we'll be talking about this a little bit more later on in the video. The second absolute must-have is some kind of a case. You know, if you've just spent about $1,000 on a camera, it just doesn't make sense to leave it out in the open where people can see it, or it might get bumped or damaged or dust on it. And you can usually invest in a really cheap bag for about $30 or $40. But again, I'm going to be making some recommendations on bags a little bit later. Definitely think it's worth investing at least $100 into a really high quality bag because you're going to be using it all the time. The third accessory I would recommend is some type of basic lens cleaning kit. You can usually get them from B&H Photo for about $5. They'll have something like lens tissues, alcohol, a little brush in there, and this is going to help you clean your lenses. Definitely something I would recommend. There are also microfiber cloths, which run about $5 to $15 depending on where you get them, and these are also very, very handy, especially when you are out in the field shooting and you just need to do a quick cleaning of a lens. Something you're definitely going to need to get is a tripod. Okay, now I know this is gonna be a little bit of an investment because the good ones cost about $200, but try to not run down to Walmart and buy the $30 or $40 tripods that are made out of plastic, because they are absolute trash and it's not a good investment. It's not gonna help you take great pictures. You need something that has a little bit more stability and a little bit more weight to get a lot of life out of it. Now the camera that you purchased either came with a lens called a kit lens, or it came as a body only. And I'm going to have a video right after this lesson on whether or not you should get a kit lens. But typically the kit lenses, not all of them, but most of them are on the lower end of the quality scale. And when I say this, I mean they're just really basic general purpose lenses that don't have wide apertures. They're not really made out of the greatest materials. So the whole concept of having a DSLR camera is having the ability to change lenses and change the performance of the unit. So you are definitely going to need to start researching lenses. And we have a whole section on this video which will talk about lenses. Another really super important accessory that you're going to need, can you tell this is an expensive hobby, all these different accessories that you need to get? You're going to need to get an external flash. Your DSLR probably has a built-in flash, but the problem with this is it's very, very small and it's usually right next to the lens. And this is a problem, especially when you're shooting people, because it typically gives them red eye, because the flash bounces off the inside of their eye and back into the lens. And it also makes the image look very flat. It's unflattering. I don't like flashes right next to the lens. So you're going to need to do some research on your camera model and find the best external speedlight for it. The Canon cameras right now, probably the best one you can get is the 580 EX2. It's due for an update. But that's like a $450 flash, and it's worth it. It's worth investing that money into that flash. Now there are also many, many other types of accessories that I'm going to be covering in the video. Some of them are more important than others. Some of them I'm going to recommend, and some of them I'm just going to make a suggestion. But if you have just purchased your camera, the first thing that you need to get is a good memory card, a case, a lens cleaning kit, a tripod, and then you can start looking at investing money into some of these other nicer things. If you are a new DSLR camera owner, you may be interested in my new video, Accessories for DSLRs. In just a couple hours, I'll get you up to speed on the most important lenses and accessories, as well as how to save money when buying them, and I'll even show you how to clean your gear. You can order it from the following link.